development in our cities across this nation. In this time, when education in urban America is being challenged, and questions of its funding and its necessity, young people are being guaranteed a job when they leave the college, we in the community understand. At this time, we need Wayne County Community College District. At this time, you scholars are in the right place at the right time. There's no reason why a college like Wayne County Community College District, in the center of all this urban situation, would not be at the forefront of making change and bringing equity and showing the way.
WCCCD, where learning leads to a better life. Vote November 6th.
You've seen him on the red carpet, you've seen him on the sidelines, you've seen him on the stage. The hottest looks in urban fashion from the biggest name in urban fashion, Van Dykes. Now pick out 3, pay for 1. 3 suits for 1. Van Dykes, 10 Mile and Southfield Road. You've seen him at the clubs, you've seen him in the boardroom, you've seen him on the pulpit. Now get them at Van Dykes. 3 suits for 1. Suits for the workplace, for the club scene, to be seen in. Pick out 3, pay for 1. Van Dykes, 10 Mile and Southfield Road.
I've always been interested in driving. When I was in the service, I drove a stick shift truck. After being retired, I got tired of sitting around. It's time for me to get back maneuvering something on the road. I'm back in school again, and I seen the sign out there, said truck CDL. I'm in school trying to get me an associate degree. One reason I quit school years ago, I'm a slow learner. But once I learn things, I can pick it up. But I can pick more so up on hands-on. The technology is different for me. It's a difference between driving a straight-back truck or a stick-shift car. And the semi-truck amazes me. This is a program that advances knowledge. I'm determined to get an education. Get you a skill and a trade. Live life. Enjoy it.
Once again, we thank you so much. Jim Holley here with you on this Saturday morning. It is 29 days in the month of September, getting to the end. Transition, of course, from not only from the month to the next month, but transition in terms of the weather. We're talking about 47 degrees on both sides of the street. And, of course, the high today is going to be about 61. We're talking about some rain late tonight, early on Sunday morning. But right now, just take it one day at a time. Once again, we thank God for you on this morning. This is indeed the day the Lord has made. We're just going to rejoice. That's right, just rejoice and be glad in it. As my grandmother would say, any day above ground is a good day. And so if we're above ground, and certainly it is indeed a good day. I certainly indeed thank God for each and every one of you. All of our prayers go to all of our sick and shut in, and certainly to those who are bereaved. I lost one of my kids, about 5 years old, Jamal, that basically was having some health challenges. And, you know, when you see a child really pass and makes a transition at the age of 5, it takes a lot out of you. And of course, I got my own grandson and great-grandson and children, and of course, but I just want to let the family know that I'm thinking about them this morning and been thinking about them all week, as far as that is concerned. And to those others of you who be listening or have people that indeed are having bereavement today, I just want you to know that you're in my prayers as always. You know, my sisters and brothers, you know, I pray for Detroit. I pray, obviously, for the historic Little Rock Baptist Church. I pray for Detroit. I pray for, you know, for my membership, obviously, and my family. But I want you to know how much I'm really pray for Detroit and also for the state as well as this country. We are in some difficult times now, and it seems like, indeed, that I'm not quite sure where we are and where we're going. I do know this, that I do believe that God is in charge of it all, and that somehow, some kind of way, this will pass as well. But once again, I just want to thank God for you. I want to take your phone calls. You've been very kind to me this morning in regards to the phones. I have some job opportunities, drivers. I need about 121 drivers. 121 drivers. Amazon is, I promised them that I would find people for them, and also for FedEx delivery drivers. I promised them yesterday that I find some people for them. 121 drivers. Obviously, you need to make sure that you have a clean driver's record. If it's just a matter of a couple of tickets or something like this, we'll try to find a way to help you. But again, because we want all of you to work. Those of you who want to work, I want you to work. Yesterday we had a job fair. About 500 some people showed up for the job fair on yesterday. We had about 70 people there, basically offering jobs and skill trades as well, non-skill. There was one company that I really feel like I want to work with too, and that is the skill of painting, industrial painting as well as domestic painting. And so I just want you to know that indeed that I want to try to, this is an apprentice program. They pay you while you're learning to paying you while you are training. And this is something, my sister and brother, that you're going to be paid while you're training. Paid while you're training. It's just no excuse. It's just no excuse. We gave away, I think the tally was 478 families that we fed yesterday on the west side of Woodward, and then I've had 500 and some people coming in for jobs on the east side of Woodward, right there in front of the church. And this time we did have some people that was basically that were in the feeding line, food line, went across the street and went through the process of trying to find themselves a job. And that's what it really is all about. I think that's really what it really is all about. That we're trying to make sure that we get people out of the soup lines and food lines and off of food stamps and all of that, and basically make sure they get a dignity and get respect and have character and basically have a job. And that's what a job really does for people. It's just something to being broke. I've been there. In fact, I'm broke now. I'm just saying to you, it's tough. It's tough when you don't have money to feed your family, to pay your rent, to pay the water bill, the light bill. It's tough. It really is tough. And all of it goes through. All of us go through it one time, and all of us just 1 or 2 paychecks from being broke. And so we cannot sit here and try to basically look down on somebody else unless you're trying to pick them up. We got to understand, by the grace of God, there goes any of us. And so when I look across the street and see people in the food line, it could be me. It could be me, and are looking for a job. It could be me. So I'm just saying to you, my sisters and brothers, I want to make sure you get your pencil and paper. If you got a son and a daughter, you got somebody that really don't have a particular skill, but they can drive. They can drive. And I got Amazon and FedEx drivers that I need. There is also another piece with FedEx. I need you need to have a chauffeur's license and pass obviously the drug test. And so, but for the others, I got the 100 and some people that I'm looking for. You don't have to have a chauffeur's license. All you need is have a clean driver's license, and that's with FedEx. And we're talking about my sisters and brothers, a nice wage as well. And so I just want to make sure that you know that it went very well yesterday. We had people. There was a guy and his wife that was burned out, and I've been trying to help them. So we put them in a hotel for 2 weeks while we got a house for them to be ready in the 2 weeks. We found a house, and the house won't be ready. That the person that we called that helps us out from time to time said that it'd be ready in about 2 weeks. So we got a family of 5 in a hotel. They've been sleeping in the car, but the guy came to me yesterday at the end of the day and said, "You know, Reverend, I found a job." He had a conviction felony conviction. And I was really scared that we probably had to specialize him and trying to find something. But he did find a job. There were some people there that basically hiring those who've been ex-offenders. And so again, it's a good day. It's like church. If you just save one person out of the 1,000, it's a good day. It's a good day. And yesterday was a good day. And I'm grateful to so many people. My son, when you see people, a frog on a high pole, you got to understand he can hop, but he can't hop that high. I can hop, but I want you to understand I can't hop that high. I had to have somebody to help me there. And many people have many of them did just that. So I'm just saying to you, we just want to thank you so much for that. So understand, I'm going to give you a name and a number for those who really need. I need 121 people today. I need them today. 121 people today. Drivers. Some of you, and if you got a job, got a good record, and don't have this chauffeur's license, let me help you get that. If it's just getting the chauffeur's license and trying to get you ready for that, then we can help you with that. But right now, I'm just saying to you, I'm gonna give it to you in a few minutes. So please stand by and make sure that indeed that you have those pencil and paper. I'll call you in touch hurry this morning.
Pretty good. How you doing this morning?
Just fine. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I heard you mention about the bridge.
Yeah.
They've been talking about a bridge and highway bypassing Detroit since England was the governor in the 90s. And I kept up with that discussion. The whole thing was to bypass Detroit, such as when that bridge is developed, it will bypass Detroit. It will not create or supply any wholesale houses, which is not here already. It will not create any more manufacturing than a couple you got with the Jefferson plant and stuff like that. And it will not supply them because they're not here. They're in the suburbs. So when the bridge is built, not just to carry people, but to transport the products and supplies. So the bridge would not be creating businesses in Detroit. It is plenty of studies on it. But here what it will do. It will give maybe, I'm just talking to black, maybe 100 black a job to finish it by 2024. And once it's finished, then they got to draw some unemployment because it's through. So that's what the bridge, and if anybody think maybe I might be wrong, look and study some of the policies on creating that bridge and the battle Maroon and them had with that bridge. Now, I heard also a lot of me and my in that interview. And I heard that blacks are really doing good. But I looked at, just using the 2016 population figure, 532, rounded out, 1,000 blacks in Detroit. So if 100 blacks is doing good, it don't filter to the 500,000 ain't doing good. So, and one thing I want to bring to everybody's attention. In 1909, Jack Johnson became the first heavyweight champion. He had a white girlfriend. He lived in a white community. He integrated it. He went all over the world. At the same time, 99% of black people was living under the black code. Forced labor, sharecropping after he came out of slavery. So one individual achieving did not affect the black codes and forced labor that 99%. And when you look through history, individual achievement did not, even the last with the black, so-called first black president, with Obama. We had more houses when he was elected. But when he left office, we had less houses. So when they talk about I, me, and my, I remember Martin Luther King tried to tell us individual achievements that Carter G. Woodson talked about the Negro History Week. It's not history. Our history, the masses, the 99%, is fighting the black holes, fighting suburbanization, fighting the immigration, and trying to live from day to day. That's the black history that we experience, not when Aretha Franklin sang a song and get an award. When you show those individuals, those are individual achievements, and I think I'm writing on it. We got to get that straight, Reverend Holley. We talk about individuals, like the young lady. You can do this, but what can the majority do? King says we are oppressed by the policymakers, that's the legislators and the government, and we will only overcome that oppression by group activity, not individual achievement, and that's the only period that the masses of working class benefited in the 12 years. So we have a class difference when it comes to what is black history and black progress. Black with 100 blacks getting a job or having business I'm not on that side of the road. I'm on the side of the road. We got to liberate ourselves as a people. So I just wanted to just say, and think back in history, Reverend Holley, in the audience. We back in that old thing again. A few blacks get a few quarters, and we say we have, the people have benefited. And the people haven't benefited one thing at all. But last thing, Obama, when he was the president, did not help my breakfast table, did not help my leaking roof, did not help my income. So I, me, and my versus we and us.
All right.
We got to get that together, so we won't be talking about like that young lady. She was talking about the capitalist class.
Right.
She wasn't talking about the overwhelmingly working people and the poor people.
All right. Thank you so much, caller. You in touch? How are you this morning?
Happy Saturday.
Yes. How are you?
I want you to continue to encourage us to go to school, get education and trade skills, would at least give you some kind of boost. Yes, I understand the cartels, the central banking cartels, the bloodlines that runs through the presidency, because all of them, if you really do your history and your science, you'll find out that mostly all of the presidents are connected, even Obama, to the bloodline. But even in knowing that the system is controlled by the 1%, we still have to do our part to raise up, and shut down those 1% that's making it difficult for the 99. So it's in our hands to make that difference. But yes, go to school, get a trade, get educated, research the history and the science, because all that is happening has a lot to do with history repeating and the science that they use to keep you food. Thank you for taking my call.
And thank you for the call. It's about 60 minutes after the hour here on this Saturday morning, and obviously we thank you so much for your call. The lines are open. You're certainly welcome to call us at 868-0342, 868-0351, and 868-4336. Those are the numbers. And again, I thank you so much for the calls. I just want to, again, just let you know, my sister and brother, that we had a great day yesterday, and in terms of trying to help people and finding jobs for people, and for those who've skilled and those who are non-skilled, and so I'm just very happy about it. You have to be there, Tyrone, to really understand a little bit of all of this that's going on. in terms of people asking for opportunities. The opportunities are there. Obviously, you got to people. There's qualifications that you have to have for with these opportunities, and of course, I'm not quite sure if I can convince you or anyone that thinks like you that things are getting better, and things will get better if we basically make sure our young people stay in school, and that our young people get an idea of what they want to do with their life, be purposeful in their life, to try to make sure that the education piece is intact, and that indeed we got places for them to go. If they want to go directly from high school into trades, they can do that. If you want to go to Wayne County Community College District, you can do that. You can get it all there. You can get trades as well as skills as well as non-skill there. Again, we have a culinary school, and we have a business school, and they can get your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, your MBA, so you're providing jobs. You're providing for those who basically are just not right there, not ready yet for those jobs. You're trying to make sure you give something to them. You're trying to get people that fall through the net, get burnt out of the house, whatever you try to. I don't know what else that you really want me and people like me to do. There's so many churches. I'm just on the air right now, but there are many churches doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing. They're trying to make a difference in our community. And I just feel like it's difficult to listen to things to talk about. The fact is that you got just a few people. The only reason why the people are not really getting a job right now. We got more jobs than we got people for the jobs. We got more jobs than we have people for the jobs. And the problem is, Tyrone, and to others of you, and leadership is not saying it, is that we're not prepared for it. We got to get prepared for it. Your leadership is just not saying that to you. It's not politically correct to tell you that our people, that our young people are really not, they're just not ready for it. And many of them, but then there's many of them who are. They are. And I'm grateful for that. But those of you that you're talking about, for the most part, you got to be qualified for this. People are just not going to throw you into a job that you have no qualification for, or that you come to work late, or don't come to work at all, or you own drugs, or you don't have a way to get to work, and all this kind of stuff. We make everything that's possible. If you need transportation, we find a way for you to get there. If 10 or more of you can put a cluster together, we can get you there. There are churches with vans that will work with us, but churches with buses will work with us. We all in this thing together. As I say to my membership, I want everybody. I got an invested interest of you working. And that is, if you're working, you can support the church. You can support the light bill, the water bill, the sewage bill, and the cleaning of the church, and landscape, and all of that to help people. But if you don't have the job, then obviously you don't have the resources. Therefore, you don't have nothing to put in the kingdom. So it's difficult to come here and work Monday through Friday. To try to make sure that things are really are available in order to move people forward, and then you sit here and listen to the fact is that we got there are so many people who just don't with the elitists, and we're talking about. I'm just saying to you that we got to understand we have some problems in our community, and nobody's going to tell you that. It's amazing to me how the leadership in this country are resisting the politics in Washington and all of this, but not resisting what's going on in urban America in terms of killing each other. Nobody's talking about Chicago. Nobody's talking about basically in Detroit. Nobody's talking about Baltimore. Nobody's talking about New Orleans. Nobody's talking about this. And I just feel like somehow, some kind of way, we have to understand The leadership is failing us. They're failing us. They're failing us. This is not a country that's going to continue to give entitlements, and especially you're not entitled to the entitlement, you know. But there's some people that basically need it, and we got to make sure they get it. We got to make sure they help them. That those who have been given much must receive much, must give much. And I'm just saying to you, is we all in this thing together. But somehow, some kind of way, we basically want to make excuses. And that's what the young lady was saying about the book that she was reading. The excuses after excuses. I remember the time, and I know you don't like me saying this, but I remember the time that Wayne County Community College District, Dr. Ivory, had 100 and some jobs, 100 and some positions, just give you the money for 6 weeks to make up your mind what you want to do while you're in school. We'd go pay you. Just pay you to think about going to what you want to do in life. Just to pay you for 6 weeks. And we couldn't get 14. So I'm just saying to you is that you're going to kill me because I'm the messenger, because I'm speaking truth. But also we got to understand it's not about truth to peace, speaking truth to power. We got to speak truth for the powerless. Let me just say that again. We just can't speak truth to the powerful, but we got to speak truth for the powerless. There are people out here who need us, and that we got to be able to. These young people that's in school, they need us. They need our voice. That we ought to have the equal opportunity in education as anybody in the state of Michigan. We are out to have justice for everybody, not just one people, but for everybody. We have 14% of the population in Michigan, and we have 70% of the prison population in Michigan. 14 of the population in Michigan are black, and then with 70% of the population in prison. Every month, 350 to 370 returning citizens come to the city of Detroit with no skill after being in jail for 10, 12, 15, 13, 18, 19, 20 years, no skill. And these are the things we got to work on, my sisters and brothers, to make sure that time serve you. You don't serve time. Make time serve you. I know you don't like that, but this is the best I can do. Caller, thank you for calling. How are you this morning?
Yes, Reverend Holley, you talked about the job. 50% of the American workforce are contract workers. Don't believe Trump talking about all this disemployment. 50% work for like Kelly girls, and Kelly girls send them on assignment to work at Quicken Loans, and those assignments are just for 6 or 7 months. They don't expect it. I'm talking about white workers now. Right. And they're really upset. Young millennium. They don't look to stay on a job at 1 year. In an economy that has a roller coaster economy, you have recession, good time, recession, good time, and about to go into one next year.
Okay, Tyrone, I'm running.
And so what I wanted to say to you, those people, 61% of the white millennium are living with their parents and drawing food stamps. So, downtown, they got 15 years of tax subsidy welfare, and you're going to tell me that you wouldn't want a little black baby to have 4 years of milk on public assistance when everybody's getting public assistance? Gilbert and them getting public assistance when they did take our tax base and divert it to their activity and tell us we're going to get jobs, and they bringing in white workers right now in every restaurant downtown. And I bet you if I could do $5 and I put up 50, and I show you, ain't no jobs coming down there. And when you have those fairs, they get right off.
All right, man. You're crazy, man. I'm trying. I don't mean to. Caller, you in touch. Hurry this morning.
Good morning, Reverend House.
Yes, how are you?
Well, you know what? I mean, I'm really upset. Listen, Reverend Holley, we know you all the way back with you and what's that other man and Malik. There used to be three of you all on the station here talking. Listen, now you know what? Richard Wolf says a young lady went into a Starbucks in Manhattan, asked for an application at Starbucks, and the man behind the counter said, "Do you have a bachelor's degree?" And she said, "No, that's why I'm trying to get a job." Now, Reverend Holley, you don't want to be rid of your Medicare, that red, white, and blue cards that you got. We got Democrats and Republicans in together to cut $1.3 trillion out of Medicaid, $537 billion out of Medicare. Let me tell you this. The money that you're talking about, this government got $717 billion for the military. Let me tell you this. That is taxpayers' money. That is working people's money. That is Americans' money. That is the money that and they choose to do what they want with our money. That is our money. That is every American person that works and pay taxes. That's our money. Our money should go to us. Do you understand? Whatever needs we have. In Germany, when a person comes out of prison, they are already trained. They said, we want to train them in here in prison, so when they come back to the community, they walk right out of prison into a job. Do you understand me? Right out of prison into a job. That's what they should be. Our money should be used to take care of, not to go around the world and wage war on innocent people. People are getting sick of all of this military money, and then they cut $59 billion. They cut $59 billion out of the military. My brother is a Vietnam vet. He is somewhere laid down on the ground, strung out on drugs. And the government knows. They take him in and out of the VA hospital because he broke his back in service. Let me tell you, that money belongs to the American people first. We are tired of these corporate Democrats and corporate Republicans being paid off and bought off with money to vote against us, the people. This is what Tyrone was talking about. And you know what, Reverend Howard, I don't know nobody that's not working, but they work in 2 and 3 jobs. I don't know any. And like he said, these are temporary jobs. You go to a temp agent. They send you out on the job. You have to be out there for a year and a half, maybe so you can get 40 complete hours. But these are temporary jobs. They don't have no benefits. You don't get no, after 40 years or 20 years, you ain't gonna even, listen, these are not long-range jobs.
Okay,
these
all right.
are temporary jobs.
All
That's the only thing people have now is temporary. Because other nations and everything, you realize it's going to take a lot of jobs. Ask young women at Myers. Every 3 months, it's a different crew of young women at Myers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because the jobs are temporary, then they only 25 hours. Nobody gets, maybe a supervisor might get 40 hours, but they work for those hours work for the benefit of the company.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to ever get, like, I got a brother. He had spent 40 years to General Motors. There's no more of that. There's no more of those type of benefits that they got. That's not happening anymore. And you are deceiving the people to think these jobs are going to be short and temporary, and that's the reality. You're going to have 2 of them in order to make it. And we need a system change. There's no way that people should have. We got $2.2 trillion student loans. We got senior citizens like me that they taking our Social Security to pay our student loans. They have to say, "Oh no, this system got to be changed." This money that we work for. I know you love your Medicare card. I love my red, black, white, and blue card, and my Social Security is little money that I get. I am desperate need of it. And here there's people out here working on jobs and they have no health insurance. And that's un-American. It is un-American for European countries to have who have health care for everybody. You went to Israel. Do you know we pay Israel $10 million a day, American taxpayers? Do you know Israel have health care for all of its people? Israel has socialized medicine. All the citizens in Israel are insured. And we pay Israel $10 million a day here. They have insurance for everybody in their country. What do Obama mean? 29 million people don't have insurance. You mean to tell me my granddaughter got brain cancer and you got insurance? Your granddaughter with brain cancer, she get health care, and my granddaughter with brain cancer don't get health care? What kind of system is that? That's unfair. It's an injustice. And Tyrone is 100% right.
And I think Tyrone is 100% wrong, and I think that basically you are 50% right, but Tyrone is 100%. But nevertheless, you got your right to say what you want to say. I listened to you yesterday on 910 too, by the way, and but I'm just saying to you is that the job fair that I had yesterday, they were all full-time, all of them full-time, no part-time, no temporary. So, and obviously there are some jobs that are just temporary. Yeah, absolutely. But you're not going to make a career out of Kmart or Kroger's. You're not going to make a career out of that. So what we're talking about basically are jobs that is purposeful. So I'm just saying to you that, again, I thank you so much. I'm going to take a short break. I got a guest I want to bring in, and someone that indeed that you know very well, and I just want to make sure that you know me even better. We'll be right back.
I was caused to remember what it was like being a young black teenager and being so afraid of what the world had to offer me. I thought about what it was like being a young professional. I think that's what so many of our young people are saying today. Take our hands, help us. We talk so much about the broken family, but it's not so much about the broken family. It's about broken systems. What comes out of concentrated poverty, mass incarceration, unemployment, underemployment, poor health care, child care issues, civil rights issue. I have an upfront view of what it's like for students who are struggling to make a difference, to take care of themselves and their families. With all of the intelligence we have in our society today, we remain in a crisis, emotionally, socially, economically. So now is an opportunity to make a difference.
WCCCD, where learning leads to a better life. Vote November 6th.
You've seen them on the red carpet, you've seen them on the sidelines, you've seen them on the stage. The hottest looks in urban fashion from the biggest name in urban fashion, Van Dyke's. Now pick out 3, pay for 1. 3 suits for 1. Van Dyke's, 10 Mile and Southfield Road. You've seen them at the clubs, you've seen them in the boardroom, you've seen them on the pulpit. Now get them at Van Dyke's. 3 suits for 1. Suits for the workplace, for the club scene, to be seen in. Pick out 3, pay for 1. Van Dyke's, 10 Mile and Southfield Road.
Today's energy in all large buildings are controlled through an energy management system. In this program, learning microprocessing and electronics is very valuable. These skills are a global skill. To be able to make a building function, just a phenomenal feeling. I'm faculty, and I teach HVAC, furnace, hydronics, refrigeration. There's just some phenomenal people here coming to this college. No one ever turned me down to help promote me in my career and promote young people in our community as well as women. I would implore anyone from the community to take advantage of this educational opportunity. It's still affordable and provides a great lifestyle. You grow a confidence and you grow it from being educated.
We'll say a little prayer for you, and I will always care for you. Hello, Detroit.
Jim Holley here with you again this morning. We thank God for each and every one of you. I'm just delighted to have my special guest, and basically just dropped in and to say hello, and I asked him to just not only say hello to me, but say hello to you as well. And of course, I indicated to you that basically that the person that I'm really supporting for governor is Bill Schuette. Welcome, Bill, to the show.
Well, thank you very much, Reverend Holley. I'm doing great. It's great to be on WHPR today and with you and your Detroit listening audience. And I'm going to have a great day here in Detroit with you and knocking around the city of Detroit. So thank you for welcoming me here.
Yeah, it's a lot of mixed feelings, of course, about in Detroit when it comes down to for Republicans and Democrats. And, you know, this is a Democrat town kind of a thing.
Yeah,
and obviously, but I think really the reason why many of them are, why it's like that is because the Republicans don't really come in and just basically take us for granted that we are Democrats and that we're not independent. I'm a Democrat, but I'm also independent. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about the fact is, why would you come to Detroit? And very few people in the Republican Party, especially running for governor, comes to Detroit and spends some time in Detroit, and tell us what you're going to do in Detroit while you're here.
Sure. Well, you know, I don't give up on anybody, and I don't take anybody for granted.
Right.
Now, I understand you have to earn this every day, and I tell my team, and I'm a Republican, make no bones about it, and I'm running for governor because I want to grow our state so we have more people in this state, so we have a deeper, broader pool of talent for jobs and opportunity and progress. And so I'm running for governor to grow our state. And Detroit is, this is the central city of the state of Michigan. And so I want to be on the streets. I want to be meeting with people. And, most folks give me a fair shot. And that's all I can't ask any more than that. I'm game. I'm game for trying to get votes for in Detroit, Benton Harbor, Flint, Pontiac, you name it. I'm working hard to win, and I'm going to win. We're going to win this race for governor in 38 days. It's going to be razor thin, Reverend Holley, and I'm so grateful for your support and counsel, most of all, and advice.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little. Why? You know, you've been basically Attorney General. You've been successful at that particular position. You helped Flint so much in terms of holding people accountable. Why the governorship? Why the governorship? Why would you want to take on this?
You know, my calling is service. I was, my mom and dad moved to Midland, a little town north of Detroit, back in 1941. They were childhood sweethearts, and they grew up in the Great Depression, but my dad landed a job, and he was on an upward track, but tragically when he was just a guy of 47, I was a young boy of only six, he died of a heart attack. So my mom raised my two older sisters and me she was resilient, raised our family, kept it intact as a single mom, and I gravitated toward public service. My dad was an achiever in business, so was my stepfather, but I think I never thought I would be able to match his level of achievement. So I tried to do something about which I hope he'd be proud. And so I went into public service, and that's my calling. Your calling is with your relationship with Jesus and your parishioners and activism in Detroit. My calling is public service.
Let me ask you this, because one of the things that I love about you and what you stand for, of course, as a minister, we need marijuana like we need a hole in our head in the city of Detroit. The other thing, of course, is obviously when it comes down to your religious belief, and then abortion. You know, there are 29% of African Americans that participate in abortions, and somehow, some kind of way, you know that about 61% of them are in African American, black and brown communities. But in seeing all of that, let's talk about something that I think is important to Detroiters as well: healthcare and prison reform. Well, in the short time that we have, can you take some time for healthcare, your views on that, and then your views on what you're going to do about prison reform?
You bet. These are two important issues, and I make no bones. I'm pro-life, and because that's That's my value system. That's my ethics of my wife and me. And about health care, everyone in the state must have affordable and accessible health care. That's just so essential for our state. And Healthy Michigan is the law. It's not going anywhere. And what's so very important, and sometimes in campaigns people twist and misstate my record, and very clearly I'm for making sure we cover pre-existing conditions. My opponents and some of the other side have been making false, untrue attacks on me, and frankly it's such nonsense and so much politics, and people get tired of all these negative attacks. So I'm in favor and support consistently to cover pre-existing conditions, cover our children till the age of 26, and have portability, meaning insurance could go across state lines so you have greater choices and options. And so that's important. And we need to make sure that those who have chronic health problems, that we cover them. And that's what Healthy Michigan's all about. And I think that in terms of health care, we need to make sure that those who are able-bodied, let's try to get them on a job and on a payroll. Some people celebrate people being on Medicaid. I want to celebrate people getting a job. I think people want jobs and employment, and I think Detroit's future is about safety in our streets. It's about jobs for Detroiters, and it's about better schools so that people can read, and an opportunity to have a chance in this country.
Right. Let's talk about education a little bit and back up from education back down to prison reform.
Sure.
Because there is a connection between...
They all link
right
together.
So let's talk about your plans for education. We got some problems in the city of Detroit. And we got a new superintendent that I think that we got a lot of confidence in. He's getting, and certainly I know he has the heart of the kids. What are your thoughts in terms of trying to help us with to fix this that we have a problem with water in the school system now, and all this kind of stuff. If it's not one thing, it's another, as my grandmother would say. But how do you deal with this as you feel in education in terms of your administration?
And this issue of education is so very important. Now, my wife, Cynthia, and I went to public schools, and our children, Heidi and son Bill, attended public schools as well. So that's a product. I'm a product of the public school system. But, today, when we see that our third grade reading scores are, at the bottom of America, and what this means is that only 35%, that's an approximation, but it's, 35% of third graders are proficient in reading when they complete that grade. That's, we ought to be up in arms about that. That's outrageous. Right. America's supposed to be, and Michigan must be, they just described as a shining city on a hill. But if you can't read the directions to get there, or if you can't spell opportunity, what is your future going to be? Pretty grim and gloomy. It's prison. It's selling drugs. It's not having a job and building your family. And so what I want to do is I want to grade our schools A through F, so that give parents a report card as to how their school and their locality is performing. Those schools that have done a great job showing improvement, let's reward them with an incentive grant. And as governor, I'm going to have a literacy director in my administration because of the significance of reading. Right. And I'm going to improve our reading scores with, you and I have talked about this, pre-K reading assistants, reading coaches, reading camps in the summer. We have to have a culture of reading so that the prism through which and the lens through which people see Michigan is one of opportunity. And no guarantees. You got to work hard, and that's the spirit of our citizenry, but you got to be able to read.
Right. In terms of, I have about 300 to 345 to 375 people coming from prison every month in Detroit. And I say I do, the city of Detroit. Yeah. And we're trying to work with that. I just feel like if I got a guy that's been in prison for 18 years and comes to my church, I mean, he's been 18 years. He served time to time. He didn't let the time serve him. And somehow, some kind of way, we need to have a way of the exiting them. So when they come back, they're coming back. What can we do about prison reform?
This is an important issue of social justice. It's even more fundamental. It's about culture, and everyone should have a second chance. America should be a country of second chances. And everybody wants an opportunity for redemption, so to speak. And those who've served their time, then you'd like to be able to have them be able to read too, if they so that when they're out of prison, and we ought to make sure that we have a job for them. And sometimes the licenses and the regulations, harm those who want to come out with a skill, whether it's you want to be painting or hair braiding, what have you. And they're, time after time after time, some of these rules and regulations hurt those who are leaving prison, want to get into the workforce. As governor, I'm going to change that. And in the last 3 months, I've been to the White House on 3 separate occasions, one of which was about social justice. Right. And I met with Ivanka Trump and a guy named Van Jones. And Van Jones worked with President Obama. And when Van Jones and Bill Schuette can be talking about social justice and criminal justice reform, that's like, the axis on the earth kind of rotated in a different fashion. Right. And so Van Jones and I understand that we have to give people opportunity when they leave prison. I'm supportive of some laws that were just passed in Michigan that has more objective parole, so that those who have served their time have a greater opportunity to come and get into the workforce. And it's all about rehabilitation and giving people a chance, a second chance in America.
Right. I was just thinking that sort of like comes to me is that you've been Attorney General for a number of years.
Almost 8 years.
8 years. Yeah. And to tell me about your experience in terms of that comes at you, that says to you that I can do more. If I'm the governor, I can do more because of this experience. I'm doing what's happening here in the Attorney General's office area. That I know that if I get to the governor, I can make things better. Because I feel like that you not only will be a good governor, I think you'll be a great governor. And so I'm just asking you, what is that experience as being Attorney General that basically you think will go make you a better governor? I think that's the word.
I see. I get it. I look at it this way. This election in 2018, 38 days from now, is all about, is Michigan going to go forward or going to go back? And we can't go back. Now remember, 8 years ago, we were on the mat. We had 15% unemployment. 500,000 jobs were lost, and people left the state in droves. And remember, that's what happened 8 years ago. And now we've rebounded, but we still have more to do. We're still 300,000 jobs short of where we were before the Great Recession in 2007. So you have to remember the past. You have to ask yourself, okay, in 2018, we have the lowest unemployment rate that Michigan has seen in decades. But you know what? We're not done until everyone who wants to have a job and can have skilled trades and apprenticeships, enhancement. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure that we train our workforce, have more skilled trades and apprenticeship programs. And when you when you vote for governor, you're hiring who the next CEO of Michigan is. That's what this is all about. And I have a skill set and a capacity and experience to take us forward. And I'm not going to manage Michigan's decline. I want us to move forward with more jobs and bigger paychecks, and an urban agenda of improving our schools. We talked about education. I understand criminal justice reform, and it's about safety in our streets. I work well with James Craig. He's a great guy, and also with, Mike Duggan has and I share this philosophy. We want to lower auto insurance rates in Detroit to give everybody in Michigan and in city Detroit a pay raise.
And of course, if we get the marijuana in here, the insurance is going to have to go up. If you get marijuana in here, I just got a feeling that our insurance is going to go up. That's the reason why we got to get the marijuana out of here.
I get it.
Caller, you in touch with the Attorney General of the state of Michigan that's running for governor. What's your call?
Good morning to both of you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, I am a City of Detroit retiree, and I feel that your silence was deafening when the state of Michigan's Constitution assured that our pension would not be mitigated. Also, I also feel that the governor, our present governor, has gone unscathed in that horrendous crisis with the poisoning of the Flint citizens. And I feel, with all due respect, that you were derelict in your duties to protect the people in both of those instances, and therefore you will not be getting my vote. Thank you very much.
All right.
Well, you know what? I'm not giving up on you at all. I got to tell you that. So a couple of things. I was the guy, Bill Schuette, as Attorney General, who defended the Michigan Constitution and the pensions of cops and firefighters. I did that, and some in my own party disagreed, but you know what? The Constitution said that pensions shall not be impaired, and I stood by, and that's why I have the support of the Detroit Firefighters Association and the Detroit Police Officers Association and the Police Officers Association of Michigan, because I defended the pensions of cops and firefighters.
And that's the thing I'm saying, that they just don't know. They just don't know. Go on with the next one.
And that's why it's good we're having this discussion. Oh, also, the pension tax that was passed. I'm for eliminating the pension tax, so let's clear the air on that. And then Flint. You know, Flint is all about accountability. And as Attorney General, I've taken an oath twice, in January of 2011 and in January of 2015 for my second term. And that was an oath to enforce the law and defend the Constitution. I told you how I defended the Constitution on pensions, and I've enforced the law in Flint by having an investigation to determine what laws, if any, were broken. And we've filed charges, gotten convictions. There's a trial going on right now, and I make no apologies for how I stood up for families of Flint and, frankly, families in Michigan by having this investigation, because I know families in Flint right now that only drink water from a plastic bottle,
right,
and only wash the vegetables in a plastic bottle. So Flint's about accountability, and it's a statement that there's one system of justice. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a big shot or no shot at all. The rules apply to everybody the same, and I stood up for families of Flint, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah. Take that camera on the right there because of time, and
All
just
right.
let them know why you want their support for governor of the state of Michigan.
Well, thank you, Reverend Holley. And Jim Holley and I have been friends a long time, and I'm working hard to earn your trust and support to be the next governor of Michigan. I have an independent record of accomplishment. I'm the guy who prosecuted Nassar, that predator who violated so many young women, and now Larry Nassar is behind bars for the rest of his life. I put together a coalition of Republicans and Democrats, yeah, can you believe that, in a bipartisan fashion, to change the culture in Michigan in combating human trafficking. And now women who are forced to have sex are treated as victims, not criminals. And I also put together a school safety initiative called OK to Say, and you can go on your app and get OK to Say, and it's a 24/7, 365 effort. So if you learn that someone might be committing an act of violence in school or bringing a weapon to school, you can text or phone or email, and the closest first responder will be alerted. And I'm in the city of Detroit today, and I'm going to be in the city of Detroit when I'm your governor, to try to work with people to have better schools, more jobs, and safer streets in Detroit. And I want our state to grow. And I'm asking for your vote, and I'm going to earn it every day. And when I'm governor, I'll represent all of Michigan, Detroiters and people in the UP, from Benton Harbor to Flint, and I'm going to work hard to honor and respect the views of every single citizen of Michigan.
What you going to do today?
Well, today I'm going to knock around with my friend Jim Holley, and we're going to stop by some barbershops. We're going to go meet with some other pastors and just kind of, have a good time listening. And what I'm going to try to do is be on receive instead of broadcast. And I found that if I listen more, and I can learn more, and I can be a better Attorney General, and I'll be a better governor.
No, absolutely. I thank you for being with me, Dave.
Thank you,
really
sir.
do. And I thank you, my sisters and brothers, for joining me for these 2 hours. It's always, I walk out of here with more than I came in. And for that, I'm very grateful and very thankful for each and every one of you. I want to have more time. I got 14 lines already lit up. I could do another 2 hours, but obviously I got a program coming behind me here at WHBR. So we thank God for each and every one of you. And whatever you do, and always remember, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, little prayer for you and I. Detroit.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
Talent is spread equally throughout the universe. Opportunity is not. And the problem is connecting the opportunities to the talent that's out there. There's no closed economy anywhere. Business at the corner says, I need employees. And that's critical to not only sustaining the business, but growing it. That's the reality. The city and the county are coming back. It's huge, and it's only huge if we continue to make sure that the students at this college, people in Detroit and Wayne County, in our neighborhoods, get a chance to share in the opportunities that are so critical. We have to keep working and make sure that that happens, creating opportunities for people who only need opportunity.
WCCCD, where learning leads to a better life.
You've seen him on the red carpet, you've seen him on the sidelines, you've seen him on the stage. The hottest looks in urban fashion from the biggest name in urban fashion, Van Dykes. Now pick out 3, pay for 1. 3 suits for 1. Van Dykes, 10 Mile and Southfield Road. You've seen him at the clubs,